Hello, Joshua.
Oh, hey. How's it going?
I'm scared of the urban legends.
I'm scared of how terrible this movie is, and we have to talk about it. And it was so bad that the rest of the podcast was just like, fuck you guys. I'm not coming.
They're like, I'm not dealing with this bullshit. Fuck this.
Who the fuck chose this movie?
I think it was you, wasn't it?
No. I brought it up in the same sentence as last week, not knowing, because I watched this movie when it came out and never again. And I just lumped it in kind of the same way I did with those other two movies that I thought were one was the other, were Repo Man and the Tokyo Gore Police. I got them mixed up. Whereas this one I didn't get mixed up, but it was all lumped in. And if you look right here, the boobs are almost in the exact same part of the poster as I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Boobs everywhere. No, yeah, dude, this movie doesn't hold up very well, and I don't think it was very good in the 90s either, but like,
wow. Seeing it through older eyes and more well, especially with
horror.
Yeah, way more experience just with like really good filmmaking, and where TV's gone since then and everything, like watching the latest Last of Us last night and just seeing like movies aren't this good, like most of them. And we get this on a weekly basis. So like to go back and watch something this bad at this time, I understand why the rest of the podcast was like, hey, fuck you guys.
Dude, it's funny because it's like, it's such a cool concept, and man, they dropped the ball, and the cast. Like, this movie is funny because it's like, dude, this cast of this movie, they were like, we need every creepy motherfucker in Hollywood to come like be creepy in this movie. So you get Chucky, Brad Dourif, and then you have like Freddy Krueger as the professor, and then you get the guy from Supernatural who played Death as the creepy janitor,
and Jared Leto.
Like, I mean, he wasn't creepy at this point. I mean, he is creepy now. He's very creepy now. His sex cult and everything like that. But you're just sitting there going,
he's got going. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you don't know about Jared Leto's sex cult? It is.
I thought that was P. Diddy.
I mean, he had freak offs. No, he has a literal sex cult that, like, I don't know. It's like, I'm gonna look it up. Jared Leto sex cult, because it's crazy. And
I feel like people that get that type of power, where he was like, you know, he was in the rock world, and then he was a rock star in Hollywood as well. It's just one of those things where it starts to go to your head, the power and stuff, and then you become,
that's what. Then you become P. Diddy or Jared Leto. Like, I from like Googling, I forgot about this. He has an island, and it's like a sex cult island, and then he like walks around looking like Jesus, like in white robes and shit like that, with his long Jared Leto hair and Jared Leto beard.
That doesn't surprise me at all. That literally doesn't surprise me at all.
And it's very confusing because like he's like the lead in the new. Yes, Josh is wearing Psycho Gorman, and it's the best t-shirt ever. And I want, you know, it's funny. I know his teeth are kind of yellowy, but like on that shirt, it kind of looks like. And Josh went back to the intro. It kind of looks like he's got a grill. Oh, it's like a Psycho Gorman grill.
I was talking to my tattoo artist about Psycho Gorman because he did. I've shown you. Well, I don't know who on the show has seen my
Psycho
legs.
Gorman.
Well, it's not that. Well, yes, one, he doesn't overly like Psycho Gorman, but he's like, dude, he's too, like, because he hasn't been around for long enough, and there hasn't been so many depictions of him and, like, whatever, he's not as iconic, but he's like, there's just too much detail to do it in this type of style. And I was like, I've seen other people, and he's just like, it doesn't really go with his, like, traditional style. And I'm like, force it, man, because Psycho Gorman has to be somewhere on my legs. He has to.
Psycho Gorman is like the unofficial mascot of this whole podcast, and it's like, And me and Josh are out of the almost 250 episodes of this we've done, he's been mentioned in probably 75% of episodes. It's like, I mean,
What is this
with Brian
episode
and
240 or some shit?
yeah, something like that, yeah. With Brian and Kin, it's been less, but, like, especially the early ones, it was, like, every week we talked about Psycho Goreman. It was, like,
But
Psycho
that's right
Goreman
when it
this and
came out, and it's like
yeah,
the bar was set for us, and it's just like,
yeah,
if you're not gonna come anywhere near it, especially in that year. And to be
yeah.
honest, what has, like, meshed comedy and horror as good or anywhere near as good as
I
Psycho
mean,
Goreman
not a lot. I mean, like,
since?
my favorite there's been some pretty good horror comedies this year, like The Monkey and
Oh, right,
Hard
yeah, but
Eyes, but
but that's
they're not
not
Psycho Goreman quality, yeah.
exactly.
So, I don't know. It's that weird oddity of, like, comedies not being a thing anymore because of, like, whatever, and it's just
Right.
like
Yep.
because I don't know. Dude, so in Katie's Discord last night, I was like I had to build my old bed frame broke and so like I got a new one and was putting it together and they were watching Overboard in the Discord.
Whoa.
Have you ever seen with Kurt Russell and
Yep,
Goldie Hawn from the 80s? And I'm
that's
just
old.
it was another movie. It was another movie though. I'm like, wow, this would never get made in 2020. It's so it's got like that 80s thing where they're like the shit that they would, like, allow happen not to they would not allow it to happen anymore because basically he even calls
Watch
her a
anything
slave
from
at
the
some
'80s and '90s, and
yeah,
it's like, "Uh-oh.
yeah.
Uh-oh."
And it's a thing too where, like, I think people will, like, sell stuff out or not give stuff a chance because of that, and you just have to look at it through a time, like a lens of when this stuff happened. It doesn't excuse crazy shit from happening, but it's like it gives you an idea that you're just like, "Oh, you're not making this kind of shit in 2025, right?" And so, I mean, we
Yeah.
watched that Hell of a Summer movie a couple of weeks ago, right? And, like,
Yep.
how that was so, like you're like, "What the fuck
That
with the
was one
Gen Z?"
hell of a summer.
But,
But
like, all
the
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 Gen
s
Z
that
stuff was like, yeah.
but what was that? The Final Girls was such a better movie
Yeah,
than, like, in that same realm because they did
yeah,
that's like that was before the whole, like, time travel thing became a thing in, horror
yeah,
movies. Like, Happy Death Day didn't happen yet, and, um, those new slasher ones that are, like, carbon copies of one another from, like, Amazon and Netflix that did
yeah,
like, The Final Girls was fun, and that's, like, I don't know, that's, like, one of the biggest tropes you could do is have it and have the main character or main guy that you think is the antagonist named Jason as well at the fucking campground. Like,
yeah,
they were playing really hard into these tropes, and I liked it, but at the same time, it came across almost cheap as, like,
yeah,
the knockoff that it was, and then, when you see someone like Netflix and Fear Street doing it way better because it was set in the right time frame,
I
uh,
heard that the new Netflix
the
Fear Street was not good.
the prom queen
The pro
thing? I
Yeah,
was talking about the trilogy, and then
yeah,
they went back and did the campground thing, and they did it well, whereas
yeah,
everything I saw about the prom queen, like, I would love to do it on the show just so we can watch it, but
yeah.
it doesn't look as good as what they did, like, it looks
No,
lost.
I heard it was very much like I was watching Cody Leach, the YouTuber, talk about it, and he goes, "You can't just have an '80s movie and just go, what songs were popular in
Oh,
1988?" and just, like,
no.
play only popular songs, and, like, it's all that it's, like, just that 80 like, it just seems like people trying to prey on
Nostalgia
'80s
porn?
nostalgia. Yeah, and it's like I don't know, man. I mean, at least that Hell of a Summer did that thing where it was like, "Oh, you can't have your cell phones as counselors," and gave it kind of like a reasonable thing because cell phones are in horror movies are the ultimate problem, right? Because and that's one of the reasons why '80s like nostalgia works because like you can get away from that, but like there are other ways to get around it. It's just it's easier for them and they don't have to think. They're like, I don't have to think. I'm just gonna make it set in the '80s so no one has cell phones, right? And which is lazy as
It's
shit, man. And
every movie that is even, like, started a franchise at that point and then is getting down the line, like The Conjuring or something that is set before now times, it's all
Yeah.
so old and overdone that people don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird though, dude, because I hear someone else was talking about it. I saw another review and there was more shit where this, I guess this new Fear Street is like all CG blood and shit like that.
Oh,
And I and
no.
I fucking yeah, and I fucking hate it, dude. I like I'll say I mind CG blood less in like horror movies than I do with like I don't know why, but like when you're shooting like guns and shooting people and CG blood looks even worse. Um, but
Hey, I
yeah,
know that exact asset from Action Essentials 2 pack.
yeah,
Blood
yeah,
Splatter
basically.
3.
Yeah. So it's all that shit, man. I don't know. And it's weird because it's like we have all this like stuff like we have the final Conjuring movie coming out with the same guy who has done two not great Conjuring universe movies and I'm like so I have no hope for that. Um I think bring it back would
I'm just
probably
excited for what I'm seeing tonight, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
these are the
Yeah.
types of
Josh is saying
filmmakers. Yeah. What
Josh
was
is
it called?
saying bring her back tonight,
Right,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just like, those 2 were supposed to do the, I guess they had to drop out. They were supposed to direct the Street Fighter movie, which is getting they're making another live action Street Fighter
That
movie,
would
which
be so perfect for them because of their
yeah,
background on their YouTube channel. That's how they got it
yeah,
started with everything, but they're so
yeah, I
good
guess
in
they dr
horror, and
yeah,
they already got greenlit for the sequel to, what was that one called?
Talk to Me.
Yeah. So I'm excited for
But
that. Anyone like, that is a movie that I've had to defend way more than I thought I was gonna have to. Like, so much
really?
more. Like, all of us unanimously loved it here on the show,
Yeah,
but in
yeah,
real life, I don't know a single person that I haven't had to be like, "Are you on fucking crack? Did we watch the
yeah,
same movie? Like, what are you
yeah,
talking about?" It was visceral. It was
yeah.
violent. Like, there was a sense of
It made you
dread
feel
and
gross.
anxiety. Yeah, like, I've
It
never
made you feel
felt
gross.
so,
Yeah,
like, on edge watching a movie in so long. Like, that movie had me legit not understanding what was gonna happen next, and even though there was, like, some fun things that they did that kept it, current and,
yeah,
like, whatever, maybe that's where they're like, "I'm on a rocking chair, and I'm old." I don't
yeah.
I
Dude, I
just
mean, it's weird.
I love stories like that though. Anyone that comes from YouTube and then, jumps that line and is now like as good as they are as filmmakers, fucking I'm gonna champion them for well,
Well, I guess
it's
they cast finally, a couple people, real good actors to be in the Backroom movie for that the kid who was
oh
16,
nice.
I don't know how old he is now. The guy who,
He
he's the
created
guy who played
Backrooms essentially, like didn't, but like
yeah,
he's the one who made it the
yeah.
what the
The guy
aesthetics are today.
maybe it was the guy who played Candyman. It was like like a black actor who's been pretty big lately. I forget who it was for sure, but, and someone else, and I'm like, "Okay, cool," but, like, you hope that it works out as well as, like, the thing with, like, that is in that whole thing, the guy's talented, but he was making 9-minute movies, and you're, like, transitioning that into an hour, 20 minutes, an hour and a half. I hope you have something that can go that long, right? Because as we all know, when things like I mean, things that get transitioned from a short into a movie can be real because you don't have enough content to make a full feature length movie, right?
Mhm.
Um, but yeah. Um, you watch anything else? Like I told you, I finished up the studio, which was chaos. Um, and I
You
don't know
s
what else. I went and watched the new Mission Impossible, yeah,
Oh,
Saturday.
nice. Yeah, I still wanna see it, but,
I liked it, dude, but it's almost 3 hours long, and the first hour, nothing happens, or it's just real slow, and I'm like, "Holy shit, this movie is forever long." Um, but all those movies are
because it's
fun and,
his
like, you
final farewell. They're making it very apparent that there's not gonna be another one. This is it. He's old
I'll
now. Like,
I'll believe it when I see it because he said he wants to keep doing them until he's dead. Um,
it's the only one. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I've liked them all. I did like the last one, but then I felt that thing that movies do where I'm like, "This isn't gonna wrap up, is it?" Ugh.
yeah.
Like, you feel the switch in the fucking 3rd act where it's like, "Wait, this isn't a 3rd act. This is another
Yeah,
2nd act to
yeah,
make it go to another fuck you." And then it makes me hate the movie. Like, it's like,
yeah,
I don't feel like I got an actual movie. There's no actual end. It's just, and it's like, "Oh, what's next?" And I'm not a fan of that, and it's
yeah.
cheap.
And it was weird though too because you have the main human bad guy, but he's not the real bad guy because the bad guy is the AI,
AI, yeah.
and which is a weird thing to like express in a kind of a movie like that. And I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it wasn't perfect, but it was entertaining. Just
It's a
goddamn
little
3 hour.
too
Oh,
current
yeah.
with, like,
Oh yeah.
everything that is like, it scares the shit. It's like Black Mirror shit, man. Like, it's
Yeah,
too
Skynet's coming, man, and it's going if it doesn't wipe us out, it would be, because we suck, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, these people suck, and they're gonna fuck me up."
I'm literally using it right now while we speak. Like, not even just, like, waiting to use it. I'm literally I'm programming my app with the help of 2 separate AIs, integrating
Yeah,
other AIs in the app that I'm developing, and, like, I'm all in on AI, and I'm still saying this, but I feel
yeah,
like if I don't go all in, then I will be part of the first round to be completely left behind, especially in my industry.
yeah,
I've already felt it like huge, the decline of people and needs for a
yeah.
lot of the things that I've been
Dude
offering for 20 years. Like, people don't fucking
dude,
need it anymore.
I saw a YouTube ad the other day, and it was Fiverr selling using AI to learn how to copy your favorite artist on Fiverr, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And
What?
yeah,
What, like,
yeah.
learning an AI model how to
It
jack?
basically yeah, it learns how to you basically could opt in, which is sounds like the dumbest shit in the world, and the AI will do work for you that looks like your work or whatever. Yeah.
And then anyone has access to that then.
Yep. That's the shit they don't tell you. They're just like, "Yeah." So, yup. Have you been watching anything else? Are you just excited for, Bring Her Back tonight?
I'm just excited for Bring Her Back. I've been, like, all in on this app lately. I found a new platform
Yeah.
that will allow me to actually, like, fully develop it within it with a better
Uh-huh.
stack, and
Yeah.
I've just been the last, like, week and a half, I've been literally night and day and night. Like, I get off this computer, I go upstairs, stretch, get on my laptop on the couch because I don't wanna be down here anymore, and continue to code. Like, I've been
Yeah.
24 hours pretty much a day coding.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
You monster. Okay, Josh, I think we have to go finish talking about this movie.
I'm sure I'll remember shortly that I saw some or watched randomly some other fucking movie. I don't know. I forget.
Yeah.
I put stuff on in the
I don't
background. Like, the only thing that I'm, like, super stoked right now is Last of Us and that last episode again. They're just this you told me, everyone warned me. It's just every episode just so devastating. It's so
dude,
devastating.
that the first game and season are heartbreaking, but the second season is just like, "Oh, the first season wasn't sad enough. We need to do this," and
The first
yeah,
one had a perfect rainbow arc. Like, it was
yeah,
thought the fuck out, and it was
yeah,
perfection in a season. Like, they could have maybe made that season last, like, 3 seasons and drawn it out like Walking Dead fucking does with everything. They just add in 17 filler episodes, and there's only
I mean,
3 that actually mattered. That's
they
why I
only
stopped
had
watching it.
they already had 1 filler episode the first season, even though it was, like, the best episode of the season
Yeah,
with the,
exactly.
uh
I don't know how that
so
was a
but
filler. That was a good way to introduce another
because
character.
it wasn't a character that was, like you just basically briefly interacted with him. Like, they didn't interact with him on the show, remember? It was just like a they were doing their own thing on the side, right? And yeah. But
I think it was
gosh,
world building is what that
it
episode was
was, but
doing.
what I'm saying is it wasn't story that was from the game in the degree it was in the show. You know what I mean? They drew that out to tell a story
And
that
it
wasn't
was a
in the
fucking
game.
amazing.
Yeah. Okay, Josh. Josh, we have to talk about it. We have to talk about Urban Legend from 1998.
So,
Yeah,
I
I'm
feel
sorry.
like, both of the other people from the podcast pulled the like stutter guy from the beginning of this movie where he's like
Yeah,
he can't say a single word. He can't get a single word out until she drives away and then he's like there's someone in your car and then he says it
yeah.
perfectly fine. I'm just like come on, dude. Come on. You
And
were
I
freaky.
we
You were
you
creepy.
know what made me laugh about this so bad? Because this is 1998. They're like, "Who was last seen at this gas station?" You're like, "Who is telling you that?" Like, unless the guy that you were like, "Who told you that she was last seen at the gas station?" There was
Uh,
no one there.
because we as an audience were there and knew that. So they're
So who
just
so we call
reiterating. Yeah,
so the audience called the cops and told them
exactly.
that, like,
Mhm. Yep.
dude, I love Brad Dourif. Brad Dourif is always great. Like, he's one of the best parts, if not the best part of, Exorcist 3. He is, I mean, obviously great as Chucky, but, like, just having him to be that creepy guy in the, "Oh, you're
They
gonna."
have freaking Freddy Krueger in here too, like, come on.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's the and that's what this movie is like, just like a lot of, like, slashers in the '80s. This movie is "Hey, look at the obvious killer," when it's just always a red, like a
The
red
red
herring.
herring?
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's never actually the killer. Um, and this is the thing, man, like, I don't know why, and we've been seeing more of this, I mean, like, as we saw I Know What You Did Last Summer. This movie isn't very violent for being a slasher, and it's just, like, which is weird to me because, I mean, obviously, we're living in Terrifier days where, like, Art the Clown is, like, gutting people live with chainsaws and shit like that in the middle of movies, but, like, it is, like, impressive how little you actually see in a lot of the scenes, and it's like also, I have a couple other things. One, worst main character, like, in any 90s slasher movie, sort of fuck. I hate this woman with she's, like, the most annoying character in all this stuff, and you're just like, "Why is she so unbearable
Every
the
I
entire
pretty
time?"
much everyone is pretty unlikable in this movie for one reason or another. There's not a
Yeah.
overarching reason to like any of them. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think Jared Leto's character might be the closest to being likable in it, and, like, the main character is like, "Why are you writing stories about this shit?" And oh, okay, I want your opinion on this, Josh, because it bugs me every time I watch this movie. Now this is like the last time in like second time in 5 years I've watched this. So the opening kill at the gas station with Chucky and everything like that you find out later had been driving a car, playing the lights game, and killing this dude. Ends up being the killer's boyfriend who had died. Why? And this is just a question for whatever. Would you kill the driver of the car first and then just torment the co-pilot, just the passenger of the car for the rest of the movie when she wasn't even driving the car? That wasn't on her and it was never on her. So I'm like, so you kill the actual woman responsible for it and you don't torture it because you're so mad that she killed your boyfriend. And
so
then you
she could
just
have a story of her own to sit in the frat house at the end of the movie and say, "No, no, no, no. This is how it really went."
dude, that ending, I swear to fuck, is so bad. It is one of the worst sequel baiting things.
And then there was no sequel, was there? Well, there's probably 6
Yeah,
and
there
I just
was,
didn't
but it
care.
had nothing to do with them. It was like a film class in college in the second one, and they were like somewhere else. And yeah, I think they made 3 of them, and then like there was one, wasn't there one called Bloody Mary or something like that?
Yeah.
I sort of thought.
Candyman was like the better version of Bloody Mary to me, but hey, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know, and it sounds like they were talking about making a new, urban legend now with, like, creepy pastas as we have the I Know What You Did Last Summer coming back. It's all the '90s nostalgic movies have been coming
It's
out the last
so
5
big.
years.
There's like,
Yeah,
like we were just showing our tape players and stuff. All that like retro tech is on an
yeah,
upsurge. Like there's new companies like
yeah.
making tape players again and stuff.
Yeah.
but because the technology and the developers of that tech all stopped developing it, now they can only make big chunky ones because all the techniques to like, that Sony made Walkmans to make it really small and
Yeah.
like it doesn't exist anymore. So like and there's not
Yeah.
enough of like people that want it to grant developers making this shit like they did. So yeah, it's kind of a we're in a weird spot.
Well, it's weird because it's like, you ever hear about Gen Zers who like they're like they find Polaroids and they're like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." And it's
Of
just like,
course.
you know,
It's t
y
but
y
we as humans like to touch and feel and have that
yeah,
tactileness, like
yeah,
and especially because the world went so crazy all in on the social media world and on technology and everything like that. It's more fashionable to, like, shed yourself of tech nowadays, and, like,
yeah.
take off days is, like, trending, and, like, yeah, take a
Dude, I mean,
Polaroid to the mountains and not a phone, and then get
that
lost and then die, and
well, it's like,
because
I'm
you
going
don't
to
have your
Burning
phone.
Man. I'm going to Burning Man in August. Guess what? Burning Man is like you're disconnected from like
Yeah, you don't have any
technology
service.
and yeah. I guess that actually is now a little bit because of Starlink and whatnot, but like I won't be using it if there is. And but yeah, in I don't know. So you get all these like we've talked about it so many times in this podcast. The 90s really wasn't good for horror movies. Like, I mean, that's why it was like
Come on,
a
Jason
bunch of
X was
shit.
amazing.
I mean, Jason X is amazing, but it's
Oh, wait, that was
terrible.
probably
It
2000s, wasn't it?
no, that was like like late 90s, I think. I think it was like 99 or something like that.
2002.
Oh, was it? Okay. And then Freddy versus Jason wasn't that long after that. So,
It was 2003.
yeah,
Wow.
man. But, like, it's funny because it's like, man, we just talked about I Know What You Did Last Summer, which isn't a great movie, but is vastly superior to Urban Legend. And there's, like, the only Josh, here's a quick question. Who is the best character in this movie?
Um,
'Cause there's only one answer to that question.
None of them, to be honest.
The security guard. She is the best
Oh,
character in
yeah,
this
I
movie, and
guess. Yeah, actually, now that you've put me on that, yeah.
yeah,
She's
she's by
watching
far
the old movies going like, "Oh, I can't wait to whip out my gun."
but yeah, it's I don't know, man. I There are so many things over this movie that I'm just like her gothy roommate who gets murdered because she's too busy fucking dudes randomly. Dude, I laugh so hard at those scenes where she's trying to pick up dudes on the like chat rooms in this because that was my childhood being in those chat rooms and shit like that. I'm like, oh
Man, I
my
remember the
god,
chat rooms on Napster.
yeah.
Like, that was
I
my
don't think I ever
first
did those. It
like,
was like
I was always a fucking pirate, and
yeah.
Napster was, like, my first thing where it's like, "Open chat room. Oh, everyone's talking about punk music in here? Cool." And then I'd come in, and there's, like you just know the one guy that's being loud is just this fat, weird guy, just, like, stomping on everyone's dreams. "No, you're wrong."
Well, actually, it looks like the World of Warcraft player from South Park, like
Yeah,
the
that's
big
what
fat guy going,
now that's what I think, but, like,
yeah,
back then, it was,
yeah,
like, 1999 or 2000 or something. So,
yeah.
when this movie came out, I was on Napster looking for Metallica. No, I was never Napstering Metallica.
I don't get the Metallica thing. I mean, I think they're good, but like, man, yeah, the obsession 45 years later, just I'm like, okay, you guys
The
have fun.
drummer from Slayer is making his convention debut this year at the Calgary Horror Con.
Oh, really?
He's never been to a convention, and this is his first one ever, and he's coming to the fucking Calgary HorrorCon. I think that's kinda cool.
You're gonna scare hippies away by playing Raining Blood,
I've been
Josh.
planning Raining Blood ever since I, found out he was coming.
So I have to say that I still think that I think that the thing with this movie is like as we go past it, you were talking about you forgot how bad it was, and I had kind of forgotten, but it this movie is like it has some cool things in it, like the Pop Rocks death was pretty cool, and the Pop Rocks death, and then the Pop Rocks death, I think,
That was the
like
one that I always remembered when I was a kid, and then I was like, "Let's
yeah,
go pop rocks. Let's
yeah.
get
Well,
pop
it's like
rocks."
and I had forgotten because I think I pushed out of my mind the whoever shoves, Lex Luthor's dog in the microwave,
Yeah, yeah. You forgot about the
and if you
dog?
don't what?
You forgot about the dog part or what?
Yeah, I forgot about the dog going into the microwave because I think I was like,
Oh, that was, like, one of the other best parts of the movie. It's that it's I
I
think
think I should
I think that's one of the most gruesome parts of the movie because everything else is kinda off screen and whatever, and killing
yeah,
dogs is so, like, taboo. You just don't fucking do it, and this movie's
yeah.
like, "Fuck you, we did it," and I applaud movies that will go there
I
because
mean, you had 4 movies that came out of a dog being murdered in the 4 John Wick movies. By the way, the new one looks cool, and I hope it's good, but, like,
what,
they did
Ballerina?
resh yeah, they did reshoots and shit like that, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Um, I the cast of this movie is pretty fucking fantastic, though. I mean, you have Lex Luthor and you have Tara Reid, who like at the time, this was like the height of Tara Reid.
Yeah, she looked good in
Obviously,
this one before she went a little crazo.
yeah, she went real nuts in real life. We have Joshua Jackson, obviously, sex cultist Jared Leto. Um, so like, and all the supporting characters, and it's just like, man, it just feels so like the writing of this movie is terrible. Like the writing in this is just so bad, and it kinda kills everything. I wanna know how many copies or how many versions of that coat with the fur, like, hood are out there because every single suspect in this movie has that jacket. It's like
They
there's
must
like a
be visiting Canada because everyone in Canada just has that jacket. It's just one of those
yeah.
things.
It's
Moose
like
and that
Burling
jacket.
it's like Burlington Coat Factory had a mega sale, and they're like, "Everyone in the town gets a free copy of this jacket,"
That's like
because
the Canada Goose, down jacket, but
yeah.
black. And here it's red.
It makes me laugh because it's one of those things where it's like the one the killer's the chick who I'm like, there's no way she's doing all the things she's doing in this movie. She could not be moving those bodies around like she does and as quickly as she does. Um, and that's one of those things that like, I don't know, it's when you have bodies disappearing and shit like that, or like Joshua Jackson's like twice the size of that chick, and, and she's still like lifting him up and moving him around and shit like that. I don't know. I don't know. Um, but yeah, this movie does not hold up. It is so 90s and it's lazy 90s. This is like another
Lazy
movie.
90s.
Lazy, not it is another movie that like exists because of Scream. Like Scream was like, we're gonna do
When did
slashers
Scream come
again.
out? When did this come out?
96 was Scream, this was 98.
Yeah, this and I Know What You Did I almost feel like this was like, "Hey, I know what you did last summer. You know what? Urban legends. There's an
Yeah.
audience for it. Let's go."
But
This
I
was
know what
so
you did that
studio.
yeah. I know what you did last summer came out in 97, and then this is 98, so yeah, it's like all these movies get chained into like,
I
"Oh,
feel
this is
like the
success."
poster at least was very, "Hey, last year's big one was I Know What You Did Last Summer, so we have to place boobs right here."
And what is the eyeball supposed to be? Is that supposed to be her eyeball when she's in the jacket? Like, I don't know. The poster's real
It's just
bad, like, I could
it's the eye is looking at her boobs. That's it. That's it.
It's just like one of those casual looks where he's not looking, but, like, she is looking. I mean, but that's her boobs because that's her eye if she's the killer, right?
No, it
So she's
doesn't
looking
need
at
to
her
be
own boobs?
her eye.
I mean, but, like, if she's the killer, and that would be her eye, wouldn't
Wait a
it?
second. I wonder if you zoom in on the poster, if her eyes are yellow and no one else's eyes are yellow, and it's just a huge spoiler right on the poster.
I wouldn't be surprised. Because, dude, that fucking coat cracks me up real bad because it's one of those things where, like, they obviously had either they added After Effects to black out that coat, or they had, like, some kind of, like, fabric in there to, like, make it so hard to see because you can't see shit in that coat, like, the entire time she's running around in it, you know what I mean?
I didn't do shit.
I didn't do shit. Dude, I always laugh at how bad the Tara Reid, the radio show is, where it's just, like, her doing Cosmo things and, like
Yeah.
but the one part where that makes me laugh is when the girl calls up and
They're, like,
they're
stuck together?
they're stuck together, and I'm like, "Does he have
How
a
does that
Prince
happen?
Albert? Is there a Prince Albert involved in that?" Maybe. Maybe, Josh? I can't hear you. What the fuck? Oh, that might be mine. Just a second.
Hey, hey. That's definitely me. Hey, hey. Just wait, I can't hear you, and it's not coming through my speakers now. What? Oh, weird. Control room. Oh, there we go. Default. There we go. Now I can hear you. Oh, wait. No, I can't. What the fuck? I saw something happen. Wait, I'm gonna refresh you. How about now? No, I still can't hear you. What the fucking shit? What the fucking shit? Yeah, I can't hear you, man. Weird. Huh. No microphone selected. That is on your side. There we go. Now I see a mic. There it is.
I didn't change anything.
I
Weird.
just said something happened. I was like, I just saw something on my computer just go like, "Digga, digga, 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 digga," and then everything was
Weird.
fucked. Like, but your stuff was messed with. What?
Yeah.
That's
I don't know what the fuck, yeah.
AI.
Weird.
We were talking
AI.
about it. It is in there. It is
It's
doing
trying to
things.
s it's trying to shut us down from telling the truth, Josh. It's
You
like
can't
the
tell the truth about urban legends. That's one of my favorites.
man, dude, I love urban legends, like, in real life and, like, I always, like, thought of, like, things like the scary stories to tell in the dark kinda like, being kinda urban legends, like, they
Totally.
took a lot of those and put them into stuff, and
That
it's
movie
like,
was alright, actually. It
I
that
never
was like an under the radar type movie for some reason. Wasn't that, like, made by Del Toro or something as well? Like,
I think he produced it or something like that,
okay.
his name was on it, but dude, that I never saw it, but I know that that fat woman suit was creepy as shit that they did. That, like of the chick with the long black hair and this, like, fatty, like, chasing people through the hallways was
Yeah,
creepy as shit. But those books, dude, creep me out, man. So, like, that's, like a lot of those stories were, like, kind of urban legend stories, like, a lot of the stories that kind of get covered in here. And it just, like it sucks when you have such a cool idea and you coulda done something really cool and you obviously like, did a bunch of coke and, like,
what are you
wrote a
talking
script
about?
at
I didn't
one
do
time.
any of this.
I'm not saying you.
Oh, okay.
I meant the people who made it.
Oh, okay. Oh my god.
Which, by the way, the fucking, like, last couple episodes of the studio, like, they all half the people on the show get accidentally drugged by mushrooms, and,
This is
like,
the
Bryan
show that
Cran
I told Rod to watch, and then I
yeah.
abandoned it on episode 3 and haven't watched it again, and he keeps talking about it like, "Dude,
Yep.
have you watched?" I'm like, "Ah, I'm sorry I even said to watch it. I
But
can't."
the last couple episodes, like, Bryan Cranston eats mushrooms and, like, is high as shit, and so they shove a bunch of coke up his nose, and he's like, "Woo!" Like a
Sounds about right.
I love Bryan Cranston. He's so good. Oh, man. But,
He
like,
took
yeah, it's
he's one of those people where it's like it's a unique thing where he had a role that was just too big. I feel the same way about Aaron Paul, where it's like it transcends budget things, and now you don't get a lot of roles because either people just want you to be that exact character because everyone loved it so much, or they're like, "Fuck, you
yeah.
were just too good. I think you're just too good for this project."
Yeah, he's like it's weird because he's had things like that Godzilla movie after, like, which he was one of
That was
the,
like
like
during, wasn't it?
yeah, maybe, but, like, it's the same kinda thing, though. It's like, they're like, "We're gonna put him in there," and then he dies, like, 15 minutes in the movie. Like,
That's the type of stuff that you do while you're part of a big, big thing. It's like, "Oh, we're
yeah.
off for the
I
summer. I'll just be a
I think
short thing in a movie."
I think Aaron Paul also screwed himself because that Need for Speed movie seemed like it was real bad, and it
It
fucked
was.
him
It
over.
really was.
R Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's a video game turned into a movie now that, like, has a chance, but yeah,
Gran
it was like
Turismo was actually good, though. Like, that was
yeah, but that was, like, based on a true story, right? So they took a true story, and the video game elements are limited in that. It's like, what prepared the dude to do
it
real
was a
life
good
thing.
enough yeah, like, it had the
Yeah,
biopic type story driven thing, and then it was actually filmed well, and I was like, "Wow, actually,"
yeah,
'cause I remember on, like, PS2 just loving Gran Turismo, just being obsessed
yeah,
with that fucking game, so to jump in and I loved Need for Speed as well, and that's why I've seen both of these movies because those are the
yeah,
types of games I grew up playing and loving, and even before that, like, on normal NES, it was like uh, whatever car game that you could, like, mess with what you had in the car so it would go faster and stuff, so
yeah. Yeah, I've never been a race guy. I played the only race game I've played a lot of is Mario Kart, and I don't know how much you could call that like, it's not like a
Mario
realistic
Kart was
thing.
always fun too.
Yeah.
That was N64 though.
Yeah, I mean, that was kinda where I started with that, but, like, racing games are, like there's a thing of patience and shit that, like, I don't know. I think it's very much like you have to zone in like you do with fighting games and shit like that, and then you just get real into it, right? But
Or just be the guy that on Street Fighter that just, like, kicks the ankle and wins. Ha ha!
I always loved doing that shit. It was always
Yeah.
funny. It's always like, "Hey, I'm gonna just cheese you into a victory."
Yep.
Um,
Just like,
well, it's 'cause
"Oh,
I
well, you can't defend against ankle kick."
ankle kick by oh, when we were talking about the Street Fighter movie that the Bring Her Back guys were gonna direct, Jason Momoa is in it, and he's gonna play Blanca.
And then they're
You don't know
gonna cast Jack Black for no reason too.
I don't know, they cast Jack Black and then they or not Jack Black, they ca Jason Momoa and then they cast, Roman Reigns, the wrestler, is one of the fighters in it, and I wonder who he's gonna play, but I don't know. Man, I do hope, like the thing is with how cool the premise of this movie is, that they can come back and do something. I do hope they bring it back, and I don't know how you take creepypastas and turn them into whatever, but I think you could do some cool stuff because there have been, like, a lot of really poorly done movies like that over the years, like Slender Man, I never saw because I heard it was horrible. The Smile one where the guy's face looked like a Josh, I can't hear you again. Ah, god damn it, Josh. God damn it, Josh. God damn it, Josh. There you go.
I hate
Oh,
it.
I heard you for a sec. There you go.
Yeah. That was a movie that I was anticipating for so long too. Like
Yeah,
the Slender Man, because
yeah,
those types of things, like, because the first Nun sucked, but the Nun in Conjuring movies was good, and then Slender Man
yeah,
was creepy as well, and I was like, oh, this could be like a Babadook type movie
yeah,
with a
yeah,
really creepy, like, siren head almost, like, long, and that type of look is creepy to me. The really
yeah,
long, like, exaggerated, like, limbs and
yeah,
stuff. I felt like they
yeah.
coulda did a really good job, but I never watched it either because
Well, it was movies that aren't about making a movie, they were about making money aimed at 13-year-olds. Like, that's what they were
like,
all
Prime.
those things. Y Yeah, and it's just like it sucks because you have these really one of the things about the internet, like, is you could do really cool stuff, like, with, like, telling scary stories, and people have done it in so many different routes of, like, Reddit, and there have been people who've told, like, scary stories through, like, Twitter, like, who were telling stories, like, 158 characters at a time or 128 characters at a time or whatever, like, just telling scary
That
stories,
was
so, like
back when, that Twitter was new enough that people actually cared and were willing to
yeah,
do fun things to, like, get
yeah.
an audience there,
Dude,
and now it
well, they
doesn't
it
matter.
was I was talking about this yesterday, I think. It was talking about, like, the early days of the internet where you, like, needed to know where you were going. Like, you couldn't, like there wasn't a
Oh,
real
MapQuest?
Google, MapQuest or but, like,
I remember
where it's like
printing out directions, turn by turn directions from MapQuest, and then
well,
going,
I
"Wait a second, it said to turn at the 2
yeah.
rocks? Why did it say 2 rocks? What the fuck does that mean?"
I meant but I didn't mean directions specifically. I meant, like, you had to know where the websites were that you wanted to go see
I
the
know.
horrible shit. Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Or,
I
like,
know.
you're
I
like,
was
"Oh,
leaning
I."
into it, man.
Yeah, I like that though too because I was at the same thing where I had map directions printed out everywhere, and I
But
was just like,
I was always a developer, though. Like, when I was
yeah,
12 or 11, I got into, like, GeoCities website builder and building my
yeah,
own first websites, and every site back then in the '90s had, uh, like, a little links section. That was like, there was Google didn't exist yet. It was, like,
yeah,
it was there was Yahoo, I think, and
yeah,
other search engines, but they didn't know what they were doing yet, and if you wanted to go to a cool site, you would have backlinks to other people's websites, so I would be like, "Oh, I found these cool sites," but that's how everyone was doing it, and it was like,
yeah,
"Hey, check out these sites," and there was always a links section to a website, and that's just how fucking the internet worked back in the day,
yeah.
and there wasn't a lot of websites back then, so it was like, oh, if you found a cool one that wasn't just a center scroll or, everything, there
Well,
was
I
just
was
links in the middle and
yeah.
it was center
Well
scroll.
well, it's, like, very and that's why I'm bringing it up too because it was very urban legend-like, like, your friends were like,
Oh,
"Hey,
100%.
you gotta go check out meatspin.com. Go to
Yep.
meatspin." Shit like that, like, shit like that came out to
I
later
think
to,
that
like, 2
still
girls, 1
exists. I haven't been forcefully sent there in a long time, so I don't know, but there was a
I was
time
telling a
I
story
I
I was
worked
telling
at
a
this
story how I left
Prince.
my
What?
yeah.
Go,
I was gonna
go.
say I was telling a story about how I left my computer at my friend's house because we would LAN party, and, that when I left, they put it on meat spin, and it was spinning for, like, days on my
Like,
computer.
I worked at a print shop, and I got other drummers from my scene hired as, like, junior designers and the printer in the back, but the guy that
Yeah,
was the printer in the back was, like, one of the smartest dudes I knew and would code in Linux all the time and stuff and would, like, automate all his print tasks and, like, this is, like, early 2000s stuff, and because
yeah.
we're all in the same network, he would send commands to my computer and open my, like, disk tray into my leg and stuff, and then just randomly send my computer to meatspin.com all the fucking time at work, dude, like, all the time. So, like, it wasn't just, like,
Uh,
one time. It would be, like, all of a sudden, I'm working on something, and Meatspin would forcefully open in front of me and be there, and I'm like, "Dude, stop! Like,
Josh
come
Josh's
on."
history, it was just like meat spin, meat spin, meat
Yes. I'm like, "Stop it, Brian, fuck." It was
shit that
good.
would get you
But
fired in 2025,
oh,
but, like,
yeah.
back then
But
in the early days, you're like yeah,
this was, like, what made us a wicked team. We got shit done, we busted each other's balls, and we were all drummers. All of us were drummers, so every few minutes, you just hear, like, tapping on the desks and stuff. "Shut up!" All of
so
us.
good. Oh, man, I laugh because that shit is where, like, I mean, like, if you take that and make it into an urban legend thing movie, I think you could do cool shit. It just that's what, like,
Just
this
have the
movie is,
movie
like
open with
yeah,
meatspin.com, and you're good.
yeah, I mean, that would scare a lot of people over. I mean, the problem is insertion and, erect penises are bad unless you're Dur Samurai. Remember Dur Samurai, Josh? Let's
Dude,
get naked and
Toxic
run through the woods.
Avenger better have Meatspin or I'm I'm gonna be mad.
Remember Dur Samurai where you ran naked through the
Oh, yeah.
woods with a boner and a
Oh,
samurai
yeah.
sword?
That was
Yeah.
that was a movie that we watched on the podcast.
It was indeed a movie we watched on
I
the
was like,
podcast.
what is this?
Ugh.
Why is he erect?
The question we asked ourselves, why is he erect? But like, I just because that's what I end up like verdict of this movie is like it's lazy, right?
Yeah, this is
It's
not even a
lazy.
half chub. This movie is a limp penis.
It is no, it is like a cold weather sucked into your body
Yeah,
cavity penis.
it's a
Like,
turtle
yeah, it's you're turtling it so hard. Ugh, and that
inside a
makes me sad.
turtleneck. So it's
Yeah.
just literally like
And sir, I like turtles, kid, into the podcast. No, I'm I like turtles. I like turtles.
and that
Oh
eye
man.
is not an eye. It's just the tip of a penis about to
Do you
come
know
out.
James Wan is like directing the R-rated Turtles movie where it's like called The Last Ronin, and it's like where Raphael's the only turtle that's left. All the rest of them are dead, and like Splinter's dead, and like he's going after whoever killed the rest of the turtles and shit like that. Yeah.
Who the fuck asked for that?
I I guess the turtle fans are very fond of it. It's like an actual comic, like a graphic novel that people love. It's called The Last
Oh,
Ronin. So yeah, I don't know. So I hope it's
I
good. I don't. I think he's directing it. He might be producing it, but whatever.
see when
Yep.
I think of turtles, I just guys in suits is just that's the pinnacle. Like you can't get better than that. And every attempt has been a fond attempt. And I didn't honestly despise anything that they've created after it. I
Yeah.
actually like had a lot of fun with a lot of it, but eh,
You know.
like
You know. Jack Reacher played one of the turtles in the Michael Bay movies. The guy who plays Jack Reacher, and I got hiccups now, and it's driving me crazy. But if you never watched Jack Reacher, you should watch it. It's really good.
I
The
asked you this in the past. Is there any reach arounds? And you said no. And I said, well, I'm never watching that then.
no reach arounds, but I mean, yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry, no reach arounds, Josh. I'm sorry. Okay. Don't watch Urban Legend if you've never seen it. It's not good. I
Watch
get
Psycho
hiccups.
Gorman instead. That's it.
Yes,
Have a
watch
nice day.
be a hunky boy and watch Psycho Gorman. Josh, we need to recover because we've had 2 kind of painful movies in a row, and I don't know what to do.
I was going to say, let's do that prom thing. But if it's shit, I'm seeing a movie that I know is probably going to be fucking fantastic. But then
When
I
does that come
can't
out?
talk about
Is it next
uh,
week?
I don't
Like
fucking know.
like I don't know. It's coming out. God damn these hiccups. But I want to see
Bring
that a lot.
her back.
I don't know what to see, man.
It looks fucking dope.
Uh, oh, fucking hiccups. I don't know. I mean, maybe we do it just to fucking talk about how bad it is. The
Well, that's accessible, and we are something about that on this show, like giving people a chance to watch what we watch.
fine, let's do it. We'll watch the new prom queen movie, and it's gonna be bad. So, maybe the slackers will come back next week. Who
It comes
knows?
out,
But
yeah. It says it comes out on the 30th, so go and see it.
yeah, so we do. That's Friday. Then let's do. Oh yeah, King can't do it. God damn it. I was gonna say. Okay, we'll do the prom movie this week, and yeah. Okay, cool.
Brother,
Josh,
sister, uncover, terrified. We did this episode so different. You didn't even do a synopsis. We didn't even say we're slash and cast, part of the past and blast, master murder moose.
It's in the game.
we talked
And
about the movie right away, and then
Yeah.
bounced around, and yeah, it was a wild thing. So it is just me and you, man. It's like the good old days of fucking hiccups. God damn it, I hate them. Josh, pimp your stuff. I need
I
to stop hiccuping.
am working on an app that will be launching extremely soon. If you are interested in a whole business platform, go to wrbcard.com.
And you can follow me on Twitter, or not Twitter. I'm on Twitter, but everywhere at Roger_Johnston, and do all these things. So, okay, guys, next week, prom queen night, Fear Street, whatever the movie's called. So we will catch you guys soon, and have a good week. And we love you. So bye. Bye. God damn it, hiccups. Bye.
It's in the game.
Oh,
Okay,
that
I
was
think-
Psycho Gorman right there. The bite.